Samira, I'm very pleased to have this session with you. Thank you so much for taking the time. For us, it's almost a bi-weekly experience, and we're working for a while now together with Nino. Today, we're going to talk about you, about the use case you have implemented in Wealthsimple, and really to hear from your experience from the field, from the one person that really actually went and implemented your processes, and to share the knowledge with the rest of our community. So I'll click, so we'll go by the slides. But first of all, we'd like to hear about you, a little bit about Wealthsimple, and
Sure.
we'll get started.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Noi, it's great to be here. My name is Samira Jamnejad. I'm a security assurance manager at Wealthsimple. Currently, I lead vulnerability management, security risk management, and also security compliance programs at Wealthsimple. My first mission when I joined Wealthsimple around 2.5 years ago was to build an end-to-end vulnerability management program, which actually today I will share insights from this experience with you. It's around, I started my career in IT 12 years ago as system engineer, and then I switched to cybersecurity around 6 years ago. And now I'm here to help Wealthsimple to manage their vulnerabilities and other risks and threats.
Great. We will get back to the deck and move forward to share one moment just to make sure we have the slide sorted out. The next thing we want to learn from you and your experience is actually what was the challenge. And I know we created a very dedicated slide. So we'll start a little bit with where you started and what was the challenge. And maybe you can walk us through from your experience how it went, like, step by step.
Sure. From my even previous experiences, not only in Wealthsimple, we all know that remediating the vulnerabilities is always a challenge. First of all, it is difficult to get priority for the tickets in comparing to the development teams trying to push out features and having those exciting projects. Comparing to that, vulnerabilities are not that exciting for them to remediate, and that is one part of the challenge. But if we define the vulnerability management process, we can say that it has a couple of main steps, traditionally at least, which was identifying, prioritizing, and remediating. I personally believe that if remediation doesn't happen properly, the other part, identification and prioritization, no matter how good it is not helping to reduce the risk imposed to the businesses. So remediation is really key. So that was what I initially started to focus and find the gaps and understanding that what is the problem, that remediation is not happening, pushbacks happen, risk acceptance is happening. When I really focused, and also I remember the days that I was on the other side of the desk as a system engineer and remembering that tickets comes in from, security and what happens, why nobody picks up, those tickets. So that was how I approached. So I can say that in the reason that an engineer might not respond or remediate a vulnerability, one is that they are not aware of it. So that is the main role of the security, to identify, and it means that you should have different scanners, detection sources, bug bounty programs, use a wide range of scanners to understand all your vulnerabilities, and also to consider all of your assets, not only infrastructure, but also application code, and consider all your attack surfaces, not just specific to one surface. So that is the identification part. Okay, now we are aware about it. However, it doesn't mean that the ticket that security writes is really easy to understand from all the engineering side. And sometimes it needs a little bit more context, more explanation that what it exactly it is, how it might impact, and even giving them a small story of the exploitation, how exploitation can happen would really help them to understand the real risk that this vulnerability poses. And then we'll encourage them to collaborate and spend time on, remediating these vulnerabilities. So that context is really key. And now we understand it. Still, it doesn't mean that an engineer from beginning knows how to fix it. So it is, and normally, other than patch management, that it is just upgrading to version blah blah. It is the remediation is not that easy, and sometimes it is complicated to understand that what will remediate. So as a security engineer, we from the beginning of the program, we really believe that we should have a liaison for each ticket. Like engineers shouldn't feel lonely fighting these and remediating these vulnerabilities, but we also have a good understanding that what it is, and even recommend some solutions, or at least collaborate with them to help them, cooperate with them to find the real solution, remediation or mitigation. So recommending a fix to the engineers, that is another way to help them or enable them to remediate it. Okay, now we know the fix, but still the prioritization is key, because we are receiving, as you saw in the previous speakers' notes, that some tens of thousands of vulnerabilities from all different scanners. Now we have limited resources, limited time. Which ones we should really send to the engineering teams for remediation is kind of a part that is really important, because if we waste engineers' time with this stuff, with false positives, with vulnerabilities that they know that it is not that important, is not that risky for the business, we will lose the trust between the teams, between the engineering teams and cybersecurity, and the collaboration will go down. So understanding the real risk, prioritizing based on the asset criticality, the existing threats, and vulnerability severity too. That is key to for building this trust relationship, and also giving you the peace of mind that you're sending the real risk to the teams to work on, not only just doing the job. And this is why we're really on other parts also Vulcan is helping, but this is where we really love to have a platform like Vulcan that can help us with prioritizing from all other detection sources. And eventually, of course, that in all companies there is a resource and time limitation for all engineering teams, and wherever it is possible, if we can automate the whole process, that would help all the engineers, of course, to understand.
And you implemented one very interesting process when you're able to automatically tag production versus dev. You basically set your asset really, really tied up. So even the process will be easier for you as the admin to actually go and prioritize to your end users.
Yes, exactly. So we really worked on that part. So this is a little bit of time consuming, but if you understand your environment, if you understand your crown jewels and your critical assets, and then that would be much easier to understand the priority of the vulnerability.
And then that's like brilliant. And another thing that I know that you did and worked a lot about is to be able to identify the owners. Like you set the ground with the assets and with the tagging capability to really identify who the owner of every section, of every piece of information. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So we are a very code-based company. So our infrastructure even is as a code, and also we are a software development company. So we made sure that we know the code owner. So anything found, and also on the asset side, we understand that who is the asset owner, and we as you said, using the tags, we have them. So it makes the automation even easier. So it already has the tag. Already we know who is the business owner, asset owner, and then it is easy to dispatch the tickets to them.
Beautiful. I will go back to the deck.
Sure.
Okay, so I think we covered everything here, just to make sure I'm not missing anything.
No, it's fine. Yeah, but yeah.
We'll go to the second phase, where we would like to learn about. We know that Vulcan is very much incorporated with Jira for Wealthsimple. So maybe you can walk us through what you've implemented as part of the solution.
Sure. So vulnerability identification is the start of the this process. So I made sure that we had commercial and sometimes in-house scanners that we have. So I made sure that whenever any engineering teams gets a scanner or builds a new tool for scanning any kind of vulnerability, it can be integrated to Vulcan, even if it is custom made. So we definitely also, because I want to have a single pane of glass for all the vulnerabilities, and also it helps me to see all the assets that I have. So that was the key. It will help us also in having a better dashboards around how many vulnerabilities are identified, or how is our application security posture, what is our infrastructures posture. So it really gives us a very nice analytics around our identified vulnerabilities. Then all of them goes to the Vulcan. In Vulcan, there are taggings, there are prioritizing that happens, and of course, what adds Vulcan to for the risk-based prioritization. And from there, we have sometimes automation to create a Jira ticket, but sometimes also we go and we will work on top 5 every day, top 5 to send to the different engineering teams. We have close to 800 engineers, so lots of teams, and not those 5 goes to the same team. So we try to have 2 to 5 tickets per day sending to different engineering teams, so they can we make sure to address the most critical vulnerabilities in our environment. After that, there's a nice integration with all the fields coming to the Vulcan that we can automate and send to the Jira. Now in Jira, what we did that I believe is key is that we have one vulnerability management board that everything first goes there. In the vulnerability management board, still if we need to add anything, if we need to add any insight, any context, or whatever that we believe that might happen, and it is very minimum. Sometimes Vulcan has already done the job, and then we send it to engineering teams. We transition to different state in the Jira, which automatically clones a ticket to the engineering teams based on the asset owner that is already defined in the Jira ticket, based on tags that we receive from Vulcan, or if it happens that sometimes still we have a tribal knowledge to understand that this vulnerability goes to which team. So basically, we have a field in Jira vulnerability management Jira ticket, and when we clone, it sends the ticket to the right engineering Jira project. The reason that we want to do it, if we were moving the ticket without cloning, then sometimes we were losing the track of the ticket and forget about it, and how we understand that it really got remediated. Now retesting and stuff was kind of not clear. But this way, I always have the copy of the vulnerability management ticket in my Jira, and then all engineering teams, as they work and they put triage in progress and remediate, then it gets reflected to my Jira project, my vulnerability management project ticket, and then from there I know that it is remediated. Now I can retest and put it as done. Of course, we also are trying to be flexible with the engineers by giving them opportunity to tell us the justification that why the severity is not as high as they believe, or if they need a time to, let's say they have a 6-week cycles that they need to do that, then I can change the due date. Of course, I will consider the severity or criticality of the vulnerability, but if it is something, then we work that. Then for all these Jira projects and processes, I have a separate dashboard that I look into the due dates are missed or not. what is the remediation time, MTTR, what is the MTTR. I have a bi-weekly meetings with the higher management, and all other engineering leads are welcome to join. I have a very, I give them a report on how many each team has missed, SLO, or how many event tickets they have, what are the severity of those tickets. So it is a one page dashboard, but it really, we put a different widget in it that easily you can see all these information in one page. And then, that helps that keep this collaboration going, which really is the key also. It is not just one time you build a program and that's it, or one time you talk to a manager, that's it. No, you should keep working. It is just, ongoing process. It never finishes. This mixture really helped define the process end to end.
So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm getting it right, that from a situation where it's a one-side communication where security just pushes the tickets to the patching, you've created a situation where it's more of a bi-directional communication. You can discuss about the SLA together, and basically you engaged the end users to this process. Am I getting it right?
Yes, definitely, because I believe that our engineers, in most of the times, they know more than me. That's for sure. I can't be expert in all of these, different aspects of that. This product that we have, system engineering systems that we have. So there's no way I know everything. So I want to trust them and listen to them. And this communication helps me to get educated too, that okay, what exactly really critical, so next time how I can do that, how I can tag my assets in Vulcan better based on the feedback that I receive from them. So it is it keeps the relationship healthy if it's two-way communication.
Were you able to experience the change of before and after with your relationship, with your team's relationship with the engineers based on that change?
Yes, definitely. If we only look at the numbers, it was a big change. Before the program was built, not that we didn't have vulnerability management, but it was ad hoc. It didn't have all the pieces connected to each other. So we in the first year that we established the program, identification, of course, because of the detection sources that we added, but identification grew 6 times. Wow. And remediation, not only we remediated all those identified, but also we get to some of the backlog that we had from the previous years. So it really matters to have the end-to-end, that program, and consider all these small details that will enable teams. But of course, we had also other automations in place. Like we have automation that if SLO is missed on a Jira ticket, it sends a message to Slack channel of the engineering team, reminding them that, hey, this one is missed, work on it. And even 2 weeks before that, before missing, I will remind them, hey, this one is still open, so try to work on it. So these are helping.
Samira, it's amazing, and I can see people in the chat can only dream. I'm kidding, not only dream, but really getting very interested of what you're sharing with the team. We're really in our last minute, the time flies. So I will go to the one slide that I would like to ask you. Looking forward, after the big progress and the amazing implementation that you did, when you look forward, what's in your horizon? What would you like to focus on together?
Operational excellence is key at this point. We build most of the places. I'm not saying that there is no improvement areas, let's say adding some maybe detections or even improving here and there or automating some other parts of the process. But now we have a solid, process in place, and we need to keep, stick to it and practice it over and over, so it becomes a culture of the company. It is kind of culture, but even, keep it live in the company. That is the key for me at this point. The long term, 5 years, I really would love that one day it becomes a self-serve process. that teams can just log in, take it, pick it up, work on it, and put it aside. I'm hoping that one day that will come, but we are not there yet.
Step by step.